What's going on, y'all? It's the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. I'm Kuya. Who am I? Kuya P, man. I don't even know who I am today, man. I'm losing myself, man. It's crazy. It's been a wild day. It's been a busy day. I just got down talking to some dirty South cats, man. Yeah, Uncle Luke and fucking Jermaine Dupri. So my mind is blown.
Whoa.
Right. Yeah, big interviews today, gentlemen. Big interviews.
Wow.
We were talking about Freaknik because Freaknik is coming to Hulu very soon.
That's
Check out that documentary.
Yeah.
I had the chance to watch it. It's so nostalgic for me. I have a lot of past to that particular event. But anyway, joining me right now, my Freaknik Barton homies. I got Webster Style and I've got Sean Mongold. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to talk wrestling with y'all.
Always.
Can you imagine a wrestling event at Freaknik?
Bro.
That would be crazy. Anyway, totally sidetracked right now. But yeah, I'm just blown right now because those guys created the music of my youth. So it was insane to talk to Uncle Luke and JD, man. But gentlemen, let's talk wrestling. We had AEW Revolution recently. Check out our last episode. Webster Style and I talked about it a little bit. We missed you, Sean. We sent our love. So I'm sure you have some vibes, some feelings about that. I'd love to hear what, just anything was your feelings coming out of it. And we'll also catch up on some other events. We've had a SmackDown, we've had a Raw, we've had a Collision, we've had a Dynamite,
and a Sacrifice,
Rampage, and we've got the WWE essentially Power Hour on Sundays. I don't know if y'all been tuning into Rivals and biographies. I love that stuff. I'm all about the AMC docs. I think it's on AMC where they, give us those background stories on our favorite wrestlers and then the rivalries that we've seen as wrestling fans. I think that kind of throwback flashback stuff is really cool and getting those, behind the scenes stuff. I'm really a big fan of that stuff. But let's catch up, man. I'm gonna throw it to you, Sean, since you didn't have you weren't here available to us for Revolution Talk Back. What are some of your vibes? I basically gave like my top 3 matches and my feelings about it. Do you have any feelings from Revolution since you weren't here to talk about yours?
It's really hard. At some points, it didn't feel like a pay-per-view.
That was my key thing, man.
Really, yeah. Like, obviously, the Will Ospreay Takeshita match was pay-per-view worth. Like, that was just such an amazing match. I mean, every single time I see this dude wrestle, I'm just like, bro, it's crazy, Like, he just has such a poise to him. I mean, both of them, Takeshita too. Like, that was just crazy. Like, you show that match to anyone who's just like a casual fan, and they'll immediately be a fan of Will Ospreay and Takeshita.
Agree.
You know what I mean? Like, that is just it's so captivating to watch them wrestle. Even though the story was just really weird, and it's still kind of weird because that led into Dynamite where he fought Kyle Fletcher, which yet again, and another like amazing match. Like, they had so many, like, they had different like segments and like just transitions and just these series of moves and reversals that were just aspiring. Like, there was just all inspiring. Like we had a friend over who doesn't really watch wrestling, and they were just like, who the fuck is this? Like, just like awestruck. Like, they were just like, whoa, like this is wrestling. And they were like, I was just like, man, I was like, that is such a cool thing to have that innate ability,
right.
and not break your body. Right. So it's just like, however I feel personally about Will Ospreay, and, he did some shit years ago, he's just a phenomenal athlete and phenomenal wrestler. And, and his promo work is good too, but like you said, like, the story is just kind of, I know what it's leading to, but it's just so random, like getting there, like, oh, you're fighting Takeshita, but you're a part of the Don Callis family. Ha 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 ha. Okay, you fought Takeshita and beat him, but now you're fighting Kyle Fletcher, who also used to be your tag team, but also a part of the Don Callis family. Ha 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 ha. And it's just like, okay, what's happening? But yeah, other than that, in Revolution, like I said, like, nothing really, like, obviously Swerve got swerved, mad about it. But also yet again, it continued, fucking what, Hangman, I think, tapped or passed out. So they can use that to, continue that feud of like,
what we said was going to happen.
Yeah, like I tapped because I didn't want you winning, Swerve. I didn't tap because I was, wanted to tap. I tapped because I didn't want you to win the belt. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, I don't, and like I said, nothing else really sticks out. Like Wardlow won, we knew that. They just got very predictable, whereas we used to kind of like really like AEW for the unpredictability. And now it's getting to the point where it's so predictable. But it's so predictable without even a good story. At least WWE has the stories that we can follow along, and it's very, soap opera, and we love it. It's predictable, but we get the drama. There is no drama here. We get the cooler wrestling, possibly, in certain matches. I'm not saying every match at AEW is a 5-star fucking match, because it's not. The Sting match, it was very nostalgic. It was really cool to see some of that, like the Suns coming up doing the Stinger splashes. That was really cool seeing them come out.
That was cool, yeah.
So it was really cool having Ric Flair out there. Like I knew they had to do it, but it was just it's so hard to watch like this 80-year-old man, fake punch someone or like cover someone to protect them. I was just like, this is come on. The Darby shit, I'm for it, man. I understand what people are saying, like, oh, they're doing all that, he's doing too much, blah blah blah. Like they didn't say that shit when Mankind was doing it. You know what I mean? And he was on the largest wrestling joint, jumping off of cages and shit, getting thrown off of cages, doing the same exact shit week in, week out. It's what we watch. This is what we want to see. This is what we get entertained by, like especially the people who watch ECW every week, what they were doing at ECW. And people weren't just like, oh, they're doing too much. People ate that shit up. So like I like, and I understand like it's a new day and age and you got to take care of your body and things like that. And who knows? We don't know if he actually enjoys this shit. We don't know if he does feel pain still. We don't know if he's on a shit ton of painkillers. But if he's enjoying it, fuck it. You go do it. And now you got to climb Mount Everest. I mean, climbing Mount Everest can kill him more than jumping off a ladder through glass. More, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But that was pretty gruesome to see all that blood. That was just like, bro, that's a lot of blood. But that's also like, makes you worried. And it kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes you like a character more. You know what I mean? Like I found myself like worried for Darby, and not just like his personal, like his character and his personal self, so it kind of gave me a connection to Darby.
I'm with you. I agree with that. And one of the points that Eldon and I talked about last week though about it. So while that is so true, it should have been Sting's moment. You're taking away from Sting's moment by doing that wild shit, bro. It just wasn't necessary for that moment because we all know the moment was about Sting. You ain't got to be the wild man and do that shit at this moment in time.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it did kind of give Sting a moment because then he's by himself and he's taking on the Young Bucks by himself. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I understand the spot is so large.
Yeah.
But, like, it also gives that underdog, like, Sting's taking on both the EVPs by himself because Darby just did some dumbass shit. You know what I mean? So, even though Darby did something that was big, like a big spot, it also gave, I mean, because Sting ain't going to jump through some, I mean, he got thrown through glass, I think. Yeah. But he just didn't jump off a ladder through glass.
It's just, it just gets a little crazy. It becomes, that's just what he's all about. And that's what I think also the other dirt sheets. I think Jim Cornette was one of the ones in particular that he was like, this guy's going to get somebody killed. And I think there was another cat that came out with, some other blogs that are posts that, eventually somebody's going to die in the AEW ring, and it's, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I think, man, yet again, those people were not saying shit during ECW.
That is true.
Jim Cornette was not saying that shit during ECW. He was not saying that shit when Mankind was doing his fucking thing. He was not saying shit when the Hardys were fucking doing swanton bombs off of fucking cages and shit like that and fucking up and like, look where Jeff is now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like maybe that's why people are more worried now because we have a lot more, obviously history and we see where those kind of antics land.
We've seen enough dark sides of the rings and what the fuck is happening with these people.
That has changed our perception
man.
of this stuff. But at the
Yeah.
same time, as we get further in, if you want to get the holy shit chance, you kind of have to keep one-upping.
There's got to be a certain degree.
But
You know.
at the same time, I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He hasn't broken anything. Like all the crazy shit that Darby has done, he has not been put on the shelf for longer than 3 months. Let me just say that. People jump off the ring and tear their ACL. Like jump off the apron to the ground and tear their ACL.
Shit, people climb into the ring and tear both quads.
Yeah. So it's like you could. There's so many random things that can happen, but still, like he's doing these things and he's safe because he's not getting injured. Like, yeah, he got stitches, but you can get stitches from anything. I mean, motherfucker, like some people get their 2 front teeth knocked out because they accidentally slam into the turnbuckle when they do a fake dive into the corner. Like that's just the risk of wrestling. I mean, they have calluses all over their body. You have that body conditioning, so it's just like, yet again, Jim Cornette and those people are now in the realm of, clickbait. You know what I mean? Like they want to rub against, like so many people are fans of Darby. All you gotta do is say one thing against Darby, and you're getting clicks.
True.
So and like by all means, I'm not like the biggest fan of Darby. If this is what he wants to do.
Yeah. Oh no, that brother is clear to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of future generations copying this kind of style. We've already seen it.
Yeah.
Well, he's a product of seeing Hardy, all of those that came before, but you're going to have that one cat that's going to, imagine a Nick Gage 4.0.
Yeah.
That fucker's killing people. Or no, not even fucking Nick Gage. What's my brother that the brother that was ECW and then almost killed the one cat?
Oh no, what is his name?
Imagine it 2.0 of him. You know what I'm talking about? And that motherfucker was trying to kill people.
Forehead. What is his name?
Yes.
Why is his name escaping me?
I know.
Oh my God.
We are terrible wrestling fans right now.
New Jack City.
New Jack. Yes.
Imagine a New Jack 2.0 in 2024, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, but
come on, bro.
I see what you're getting at. I see what everyone else is getting at. But no matter what, if kids are going to do dumb shit, they watch anime and want to recreate anime. You know what I mean? Like, you can't save that. You can't help.
Yeah.
That. Like, man, wrestling's been doing this for literally 4 decades. We can't just sit there and blame Darby for it.
Oh yeah.
It's like an accumulative effect, like bad parenting.
I just felt some kind of way watching that blood after he did that spot, bro, and you just saw the different cuts start coming up, bro.
Come out.
That was nuts. Nuts, man.
But yeah. So I mean, Revolution. The following Dynamite. Was great. You got Okada coming out. Like I said, the Fletcher, Will Ospreay match was great. You kind of got this cool swerve babyface kind of thing. They kind of forced him to tag team with Joe. He got the win over the Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom, United K, whatever the fuck, UK. And Joe obviously turned on Swerve and choked him out in front of Wardlow, and it kind of, you know what I mean, like it kind of pissed me off because it was like throwing Swerve to the side, but at the same time, this is how baby faces are treated, and even though he, he's like, I'll do anything for the title, like I have broken this, I'm not proud of it, but I've broken the man's house and cut a promo on a child, so it's just like it's getting him over, which is weird, but they're trying to play with it, and now they're kind of putting him in this underdog role, right? So I'm curious to see, like, I like the story, so that is a story I am very invested in. I want to see Swerve continue. I just hope it's not the fucking Cody Rhodes 2-year fucking trying to finish his story bullshit. I want to see the first black AEW champion, and I want it to be Swerve, and I want it sooner rather than later, because they kind of been feeding it to us a little bit and then taking it away. It's like the fucking dollar on the fishing pole. Like, whoa, almost got it. Whoa. But yeah, Okada joining the Bucks, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
It adds, in my opinion, an air of seriousness to the Bucks. I've obviously said it. They're corny. They're being trolls. They're like the edgy people who want to be trolls just to be trolls, and they think they're funny because they're trolls. And that's like this whole gimmick, this whole EVP, like, you're fine, I'm fighting you. Like, oh, hey, bud, hey, give me a fist bump. Like, it's so BTE, and I think Okada kind of gives an air of seriousness behind it. Also, he wears actually fitted suits and not suits from fucking Timo, like fucking Nick and fucking Matthew Jackson has some ill-fitting suits.
Oh.
Like, take some fucking pointers from Cody fucking Rhodes, you dipshits. Like, Jesus Christ. And maybe that's the point, is have these ill-fitting suits, or maybe they're just not good at wearing suits. I don't know, but like, they're.
I think it's the lighter of the two. Elbit Money is the lighter of the two.
But I like that Okada's with them. I'm curious to see what happens with it. They might go after the trios, championship, which would be different. And I'm all for it. And then also they're kind of making, Kenny. They're setting up Kenny and Hangman, and possibly someone else. I'm hoping they're probably going to make it Coda, which I hope not, because my man needs. I think he's like on the shelf for a minute. But they need that kind of like 3-man stable to come back and beat them. So that's obviously a cool story. I'm glad that that's pivoting. But yeah, other than that, I mean, there's not, you got the Edge thing with the box that came out on Collision. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did it have? Spike on it?
Yes,
what the
Spike.
fuck is it? What is that? It's
Don't know.
Weird.
It is very weird. In a way that Christian just ran from it.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that, Kuya, but I think Nick Wayne had a match against fucking somebody, and then Christian interfered, and then Edge came out and fucking chased down Christian and beat his ass, and then ran back into the ring, and then Christian was trying to jump him, and then Edge, fucking Adam Copeland, whatever, pulls out a box, a giant fucking, it looked like a gun case, dog, like a metal gun case, and it just had the word in red Spike written on it. And then he opened it up, but the camera couldn't really see what it was. And Christian looks at it, and then he slowly backs up and kind of runs away.
What was this on? Dynamite?
It was on Collision.
Collision?
Yeah, on Saturday.
I got Dynamite and Rampage on my DVR. I got to get Collision back up on there.
So no one knows what it is, and it's giving very much. I don't know if y'all remember fucking when they repackaged Redbeard, fucking.
The damn mechanical fake spider shit.
Yeah, man, the box that no one touched. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I'm just I'm worried because they're dragging the storyline out. It's been so many months. I just don't want to be underwhelmed, because if it's going to be no matter what it is, there's literally nothing it could be there. I'm yo, that makes sense. It's literally going to be that's dumb. No matter what it is, in my opinion. Yeah. Absolutely, no matter what it is, it's going to be dumb. Right. So that's the only other storyline. I'm just oh, cool. That's a developed storyline. Everything else is kind of the Tony Storm, Deonna Purrazzo that they're continuing, which is dumb. Don't understand that. But yeah, that's how I feel about AEW. And then obviously Big Business coming up tomorrow as of this recording. Don't know if you guys want to go.
We feel if the boss doesn't come out in Boston. What if that is the most insane troll ever? I was bringing this up to Eldon last week because I thought that it was happening last week. I got my dates mixed up. Because we just had Revolution. I was thinking that the next Dynamite was going to be, her showing up, because I had, again, I'd had somewhat hope she'd come up at the pay-per-view, that she'd make an appearance there and then show up. But I guess I got all my dates confused. But again, as we were talking, prior to start of this, that there hasn't been no build-up. You said the one match is Riho or whatever.
So the one match tomorrow is the one women's match is Willow Nightingale versus Rio, because Rio's kind of been going through Chris Statlander and them. I don't know.
Appearance if she's making it out there, dude.
Yeah. And then they also kind of, if she interferes with that match or kind of comes out, it means she's going after the TBS belt, not the women's belt, which kind of doesn't rub me the right way.
She's too big for it, bro.
I honestly think it's going to be like, oh, and at the end of the show, Tony Khan has a huge announcement. And, it's going to be, oh, we just signed Mercedes Mone. And she's going to come out and do the Will Ospreay, like, I'm still traveling New Japan, but I'm going to be around, or some shit like that.
It's going to be whack.
Yeah, it would be whack.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, we're still going to pop for it because she's there. But yeah, I don't get how it fits and works. But I mean, this literally kind of played out how we said. Like, we said that someone was going to return to Revolution. We got Kyle O'Reilly, which was very underwhelming and very weird. And then obviously the very next Dynamite, we got Okada, and then this Dynamite coming up, fucking Boss. So literally, like, everyone's getting announced now. But now they have to get the stories down.
Right.
Like I felt literally like the past maybe 3 months has been like a weird drag it out, like this transitionary period as they're like getting rid of some of the creative folk and hiring the girl from WWE for creative, not wanting to announce any of their big people until like she is firmly in creative with ideas. Right. And now they're rolling the returns back, and they're rolling out the premieres of all these new people that they signed, because I think they finally have a long-term plan with this person and at the helm. And I think that's why they're doing this. So I'm hoping that they have a good idea with Mercedes. But other than that, I mean, it's still going to be a good card. Like, I was looking it up. So let's see. We got Darby Allin and Jay White. That's going to be a great match. You got the Samoa Joe Wardlow match. The Willow Nightingale Rio match. You got Hook and Jericho versus Gates of Agony. That's a story I don't know why that's happening. And then the Elite versus pretty much Death Triangle minus Rey Fenix, but insert Eddie Kingston. I don't know about that either. That's just a random kind of thing. Eddie's been kind of beefing with the Young Bucks for a minute, but then like Pac coming out of nowhere, and and Penta. I don't know. That's a little weird. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I agree. The whole Pac and Okada thing, that did just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, okay, like, y'all are going a little too crazy with the tree. I think you're getting a little too floundered with all the factions and 3-man tags, like the trios matches and shit. So we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully it leads to like Okada versus Kingston for the Continental belt or some shit like that, which probably will. But yeah. And then I think
that'd be a good person to put it on.
And don't we have a Daniel Bryanson? No, we just had that. Okay, never mind. Daniel Bryanson came out and challenged someone. Who the fuck was it?
It wasn't Ospreay?
Oh, it was Ospreay. So that's what's happening. So yeah, so Daniel Bryanson came out and kind of like cut a promo on Will Ospreay. So that's whenever that match happens, that's going to be fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I am looking forward to that. Like, I don't need a story for that. Like,
no, not at all.
Danielson is so good on the mic and just can make it a story. And like also with the BCC just being motherfuckers who like to fight, like, it kind of makes it easy.
You don't need a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it a story. Like, you're a great fighter. Fucking let's go. The Eddie Kingston, Daniel Bryanson match at Revolution was nice too. And like the final handshake and everything like that. And they did like a little promo backstage, and that was really cute. So I did like that.
It was just,
what?
I was all right,
the match itself was because like I said, Eddie Kingston, all he does is slap people, all he does is chop, and it gets boring after a while. I'm a periodic chop fest kind of person, like when Gunther does it, because Gunther will then like go ham with wrestling, and Kingston does it a little bit too. Like he can wrestle, but like I don't know why it just like he's like focused on the chops. I don't know. It's just storyline wise, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, no. I love the storyline between them. I love the interaction backstage of like getting his respect and everything, and like Daniel Bryanson getting emotional about it too. And I was just like, wow, like, that's really cool. Like that's good. However, it was like a backstage promo, and it wasn't really on Revolution. So it was on like social media. I'm like, this is the shit that should be on TV.
Yes.
Because that is storyline. That's emotion. That's a good promo. Like, why is it only on social media? Why is it not on Dynamite the next week? Like, oh yeah, also we got backstage with Bryan Danielson, and this is what he had to say. The interaction between Kingston and Bryan. So it's like there's a lot of missed opportunities there.
I agree.
Because not everyone goes on social media and follows that kind of shit. But yeah. But what do y'all think about the Wardlow Joe match tomorrow night? Obviously, Joe's retaining.
Yeah, I would be mad if he got it over my man Swerve, because the only person that needs to have the belt outside of Joe is fucking Swerve.
But
mad is not the word.
They did give Roddy the belt, and the whole thing, the United King or the Undisputed Kingdom has been going for is all the belts.
Fuck that shit.
That ain't happening.
Fuck that shit.
Look, putting the belt on Roddy was a smart decision. I think we all said that when we talked about our predictions, but this wouldn't be a smart decision.
No, it absolutely would not. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't know. We'll see what they do. But I think I don't know. Do y'all have any other thoughts on AEW?
No, I'm good on AEW. What? How about over at WWE, y'all? NXT. I've got some catching up to do. It's been a minute. I've been catching up on my DVR with some SmackDowns. I've been missing a couple SmackDowns with this whole WrestleMania build-up. Especially wanted to see this whole Rock Bloodline, segments that we've all been seeing on the Twitters. They've been playing that there. Wanted to see the not this, because Rock is doing this. Excuse me.
He keeps doing this now.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, Rock? It's this. But
if you look every time,
it's a whole sign of things to come, that there's going to be a betrayal.
Yeah. Every time Roman looks at him or Heyman looks at him, he'll go.
Yeah, it's weird.
Every time they're not looking, he'll go.
But it's good storyline shit if it is playing into what we think is happening, right?
It definitely is going to.
But
did you see the Cody slap?
Yes, that was good.
Yes.
Bro. And I like that they went off air with that. So you left us like hanging. That was good. That was good.
Smirk. Yeah, from the Rock. Yeah, me and Maki were popped. We were like, "Bro, like let's go!" Like smack the shit out of him.
That was good.
Like, that was great. Right when he said, "And Dusty, looking down, my hero, you were a mistake." I was like, "Bro, bitch."
Yeah. So actually, I got a question out of all of that. Right, in regards to that specific, we're gonna get the tag team match and then the championship match on the following night.
Yeah.
With that being said, what do you think is going to be the results of that for the both of you? Do you think they're going to beat them and then we're not going to have any bloodline the following day? What do you think they're playing into? What do you think is going to happen with that? Results of night one leading into night two. Webster side, let me throw it at you, man. You've been silent for a little bit. Let me hear what you got.
I think that's well, I'll go to night two. I think Cody's winning, and I think Seth is losing his title. As far as the bloodline match, I don't know, because I'm trying to think storyline. I feel like it will be a better story if they lost the match and then Cody has to face that adversity and he overcomes that adversity of the whole bloodline to win the championship. However, on the other hand, I want them to win because we haven't seen a one-on-one Roman match in like forever. And I feel as though that would be maybe a better story and maybe even a better match if there's no bloodline involved.
How about you, Sean? What you got?
Man, it's hard. It's hard to say because like there's so many things that can happen, right? Like, if I feel like it'd be a cool thing if they won night one, so no bloodline, right? So Seth picks up a win on the tag team, and then obviously, like you said, like then Seth loses his match because he put so much energy into the tag team. Like maybe he does do bulk of the work. Maybe he does get kayfabe injured and then, hurts his back again. And then, he did that for Cody, and for getting rid of the bloodline. And then, they have their singles match. And obviously The Rock has to be involved. I don't know if he interferes.
Oh, yeah.
I think probably if, hopefully Cody wins. I want Cody to win. They kind of put themselves in this weird shell where if Cody doesn't win, Jesus Christ, there are going to be some pissed motherfuckers. But I think that if Cody does win, The Rock
would you
comes
quit
out.
WWE again like you threatened
Right.
earlier in the year or last year? I'm quitting WWE.
I did. I stopped watching that shit for a minute. I had to get y'all to give me updates on what was going on with the bloodline after that because I was like, I don't really give a shit. Like, the bloodline is the only thing I care about. And then all of a sudden that ended, and I was like, okay, let me jump back in it. And then CM Punk came back, and I was like, yeah. I think if he does win, I think The Rock comes out and then kind of fucks up Roman after he loses because, of course, you're not the tribal chief anymore. You lost the title. That's the only reason I acknowledge you is because you were world champion. Now you ain't shit. And then he just beats the shit out of him. So, and then it leads to some crazy SummerSlam, or like I said, the first, Netflix show of Rock versus Roman. Which kind of we predicted, way back when we heard about the Netflix deal. I think that will happen. I think they win night one. I think Seth loses, and then that kind of lets Seth kind of turn a little bit heelish, and be a little spiteful of Cody winning the belt with his help.
Yes.
And then that, allows for Seth to have a shot at that belt.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Drew can go do something else with the other belt, against, hopefully LA Knight, and give LA Knight some shine. But we shall see. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
So we're calling for two
Sean,
belt changes. Both are main belts.
Yeah.
We're calling for changes. Yeah. Roman and Drew. All right. Yeah, well, here's another sidebar question though, because again, the tag belt is the main event on Saturday. The championship match is the main event on Sunday. Do you have an issue with that being the main events? Because I kind of feel we've forgotten about Bayley. We're having the main event, Sunday night, obviously Cody and Roman, but we just forgot about Bayley and Io, and we're gonna give the tag match because it's Rock and Bloodline, all of that. How do you feel about the whole Bayley thing and just kind of putting the females to the side? I kind of feel a little bit of a way as a women's wrestling fan that kind of throws some shade to that. I understand it. It makes sense business-wise, but at the same time, how do you feel about that?
I'm not mad at it. I love Bayley. I think the Damage Control storyline is probably one of the best storylines in the women's division. It is the best storyline in the women's division right now. Because there's not a lot of story. I mean, it's Io Sky. Nothing against Bayley, and Io's an amazing performer and an amazing wrestler, but Io Sky is not.
It's not a marquee matchup.
It's not a draw.
Yeah.
From a business aspect, and also, Becky and Rhea maybe, but it's just. The story is so much better with Bayley and Io, but Io is just not the draw. There's not really a big story between Rhea and Becky. I don't see the story. So therefore it does not have the big marquee match like Sasha and Bianca.
Right.
Or the 2019 three-way match with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky when Becky won. So I'm not mad at it. And then The Rock's back, so of course you're going to fucking showcase The Rock. Of course. Yeah. No matter what the match was. Yeah, it's The Rock. You're going to put him over.
They got to give him one of the main events.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have an issue, much like Sean said, it's because who's the draw? And this is a stacked card when you really think about it. if this was WrestleMania 38 or 39 or 41, okay, yeah, I can see Rhea versus Becky, or even Bayley versus Io as the main event of night one. Easy. But the better, for better or worse, The Rock being there, this is the 40th WrestleMania. One of your biggest stars ever in one of your biggest storylines ever. You're going to capitalize on that as much as possible. No disrespect to anybody else. Yeah. Everybody else's storyline is down here compared to what's going on with the bloodline. And if you can find a way to have that on both nights, like in this case, it's multiple times. Now we're going to get the Usos against each other too. Oh, that's money. That's money for him right there.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I don't, nothing. Like I said, I love that story. I love it. It's just Bayley can't be the draw of themselves or herself.
Yeah, right. I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel they earn it from Rumble, and just an observation. I think we all agree they had to put Rock marquee match. But with all that being said, we already kind of doing our predictions a little bit for WrestleMania right now. I'm agreeing with both of you. I definitely think it's gonna be Drew and it's gonna be Cody, but Bayley, Io. I would think. Are y'all predicting Bayley?
I'm giving it to Bayley.
I think it's got to be Bayley as well. Like Bayley's got to be.
It's gonna be Bayley.
Revenge on Damage Control. So are we actually seeing 3 major titles change at WrestleMania right now?
What about the IC belt?
Yeah,
as well.
With Sammy.
Sammy I think we're going to see some. It's going to be insane that are we going to see nothing but belt changes, with the exception of Becky and Rhea. I don't think Becky's going to take it from Rhea. I would not think that.
Me either.
It's got to stay with Rhea. I don't think Becky's strong enough to take it from Rhea. But other than that, we're seeing nothing but straight title changes. How do y'all feel about that?
I don't know who takes it from Rhea, but I'm down with that. I mean, it's WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be great. I mean, that's what people kind of complain about is like the PPVs where no titles change.
Yeah.
And like we've had so many, and we've talked about this before. We've had so many streaks and like, oh, they're the longest reigning, blah, 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 blah. They have 600 days. They have 1,000 days. And it's like, this has gotten so monotonous. Like I need some fucking curveballs, man. I need some change.
Right.
Gunther, I love him, but like there hasn't been a real story with Gunther outside of his streak.
Right. Yeah.
Like they kind of have their squabbles with
stale.
Like factions with like the New Day and with DI with fucking.
Which have been
Chad
great,
Gable
but it's no storyline.
Yeah, but it's not like a true storyline. The only real one, in my opinion, was kind of Chad Gable.
Yeah. That's not happening.
I really wanted
and
Chad.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, I wanted to, but like we talked about it before we started recording, I think they kind of owe Sammy, but when they signed him to his contract, that's when he kind of got the WrestleMania spotlight. That's when he got to go against Roman. That's when he did the bloodline shit and he got like really highlighted. And I think this is a continuation of that. I think they're like, we have to give him like the big WrestleMania thing, even though Chad kind of made more sense, in my opinion, because
Chad did.
Of their slobber knockers. This doesn't make sense. If Sammy beats Gunther, I don't know how I would feel. Like I love Sammy, but like the story is just kind of not really there.
Agreed.
It's just,
and you talk about pure wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling against wrestling, Chad versus Gunther would have been it. When you talking about the ring general, who else better to take the belt off of him than somebody who is a ring technician? And it makes more sense.
Yeah.
You're making me more upset that if he does Sammy do it, and we love Sammy. It just
that's the thing.
It's making me salty. Yeah.
It does. But I don't think that changes then.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. We'll see, because like obviously things are fluid in WWE. We'll see how the reception is of this. Like if Sammy comes out to cut a promo and like it's a couple boos, if it's not as big of a pop as they expected, and then when next time Chad comes out, there's a shit ton of cheers. Like it could be Kofi Mania all over again, but we're with Chad with Alpha Academy. So they can easily pivot and make this a 3-way match. Because also like Sammy and Chad kind of embraced at the end of it when Sammy pinned Chad at the gauntlet match. So obviously there's a level of respect there,
definitely.
like that. And so like I could definitely see that turning into a triple threat match And I think that would be a great way to kind of showcase both wrestlers. So like Chad gets to be on WrestleMania and then also continue the story. And then if you wanted to have it, like have Chad win.
Yeah.
And like in a triple threat, like take down both of them. Like it's hard to get a win in a triple threat. But like he has to pin Gunther. He can't just pin Sammy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like he has
I
to
agree.
give him the win, push him. This might be his last big push. Like he's, he ain't a spring chicken. I mean, he looks good, but like, what I mean? Like how many more chances? How many times you're gonna catch lightning in a bottle?
Yes, sir.
They capitalized R-Truth. And like they're pushing him.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be, awesome.
Do we know who Judgment
Awesome
Day is facing? I just thought about the tag belts.
It's going to be the Awesome Truth.
Oh, it is?
I think so. That's what they're playing it out to be.
Interesting.
So they're going to still hold the belts.
It was R-Truth versus Damian Priest on Raw. So they did a whole
that just reminded me another question, but we don't have that much time. Do we think a cash-in's going to happen?
Oh.
Drew.
I have a feeling.
I can see it against Drew. Because
what would be really insane is the cash in either on Drew or Cody. If he were to do it on Cody, how much of a heel that would make Damian?
No. So if you think about it, there's history with Drew because Rhea's been trying to recruit Drew to the Judgment Day.
That too.
And every single time she brings Drew up, Damian's just like, we don't need him.
Yeah.
We don't need him. You know what I mean? So like, even though it's like kind of a heel versus
I'm a
heel
cash in on that bitch.
Exactly that. So I think
there's got to be a cash in.
There has
cash in has to happen.
So I'm mistaken. So there is I think it's like a tag team like 4-way. There's like a crazy like tag team championship match, and on Raw they were pissed about it. And they're like, Adam, like what the hell happened? And blah blah blah. Who requested this? And they're like, oh yeah, Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. And they're like, what? Like where are they? And they're like, they're on Media Day. And then R-Truth pops up. And they're like, Truth, what are you doing? Like you should be with Miz doing Media Day. He's like, oh no, that's on Monday. And they're like, it is Monday. And he goes, oh. And then Damon gets in his face. It's like, I want you in the ring. Like, so they had a good match. But yeah, like I can see Awesome Truth getting the belts as wild. Something funny.
That would be a cool, funny thing just to lighten it up after the words.
Yeah, but Raw.
But then separate the goddamn belts. I want the belts separated. Like,
yeah. Have give more chances to more tag teams.
I'm saying. Before we get up out of here, gentlemen, predictions. We need to get back to that real quick. We've got some Raws. We'll have a Raw. Well, we definitely have a SmackDown coming. We got a Collision between now and next week. Is my girl Mercedes coming out? What's the deal? Webster style. What are your predictions?
I think she is. If not, Tony got some shit on his hands. If not, that's all I gotta say about that.
And any other predictions? WWE side, anything coming between now and next week? That's it.
Nah.
All right, Mercedes better come out. How about you, Sean? What you got, man?
Yeah, obviously I think Mercedes comes out. I think yet again, what we were talking about with the rollouts of people like who haven't we seen in a very long time, Britt Baker. So it could very well be an announcement of, hey, here's our latest signee, Mercedes Mone. And she comes out and she cuts a promo. She does a good thing, and then Britt Baker comes. And
I would love that. I would love to stare
awesome.
down, and then that's how you close the show. Is just like a stare down. Like Britt doesn't even need to say anything. Yeah. Just come in there, money, hear the pop. You just pop for Mercedes, and then hear the pop for Britt coming back, and then have him go back, and then who knows who's the heel? Like Mercedes is such a good heel, but also Britt is a very good heel.
Yes.
So like, who is the heel in that situation? So like, just let it be a stare down. Don't give any clue as to who the heel is, who the face is, and then continue it. I don't know if they're going to continue it on like Collision or how they're going to like segment it out or whatever. But yeah, like that's your first big feud, and that's how you kind of not really throw Mercedes straight into a belt, but like obviously Britt is a former champion,
and that's a good look,
and a good champion, and a good promo, a good in-ring wrestler. That can be a good couple month feud. Bring Jamie Hayter back to help out Britt Baker. I don't know whose sides are Mercedes, but maybe Mercedes is the face and she's the underdog, and then she has to fight through Jamie Hayter and then Reba and then Britt again. That whole dilemma. So that's my prediction. That's how I would book it.
Yeah.
However, I'm not fucking Tony Khan.
And he's unpredictable. And he's
very much so.
Depends on how much coke you snorted that day.
Hey man, be careful, because if we get sponsored by AEW or they start helping us out, man, we can't be talking about our boss like that.
I love cocaine.
All right, y'all. Hey, I like that, Sean. I love DMD, and I love the boss.
Yeah, man.
That would be amazing. I would love to see them.
The CEO now. Not the boss.
The CEO, but it's
DMD,
in Boston.
The CEO. It is,
which
I love that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Good way to get around.
If we get swerved, though, on that, it's going to be some shit. There's going to be rioting in the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fucking crazy if it doesn't happen. We'll see. Yeah. We'll find out. Find out next week, y'all. Let's get up out of here. Sean, talk about Blazing Tassels before we leave out.
Blazing Tassels, not coming up this weekend, but the following weekend. What is that, the 23rd? I can't remember. I can't look at dates. I don't know.
Yeah, 23rd, yes.
Okay, it's March 23rd, y'all. It's our kind of first country hoedown kind of show that we're doing. It's going to be really fun and interesting. It's at DC Brow, the oldest kind of brewery in DC. So if you want to check it out, you can go to Eventbrite and look up Blazing Tassels, or you can look up the International Nerdlesque Festival to find tickets. All VIPs already sold out. We're close to about half tickets sold out for general admission, so please check us out and grab a ticket while you can and come have some fun. See some sexy cowboys.
There you go. And have a drink with my man, Sean. It's a good time, y'all. I've been to plenty of their events, and it's outstanding. Bravo to you and Maki, man. Love y'all. And, of course, my man of style, Webster Style, always killing it with the Sartorial Geek, as well as our checkpoint here at the NRW, Game Bites. What do you got going and coming on? I know you got some interviews coming up, don't you?
Whoa, yeah. So let's see, at the time of this recording, I'm back on the podcast. So episode 177 dropped. So you'll find me talking about Akira Toriyama, who we just lost, creator of Dragon Ball Z. NBA 2K24 is now on Game Pass. What? And then my interview with Bella Lexi is there as well. And it's all video as well as audio. So you can watch the video as well as listen to the audio on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. My interview at the time of this recording, my interview with Richard Mann drops tomorrow. And then I also have a fragrance of the week in African Rubios from Chris Collins dropping on Friday. And Game Bites is already out. Looking at, what did I look at this week? Oh yeah, Breakers Collection. You can find that on Webster Style as well as NRW, with Nerds Rule the World.
There you go. And our checkpoint is up. It took a while, y'all. Freaking
Yes.
YouTube was being a pain because we were talking about WWE 2K24, but they released their hold on it. It is now out and available. So check out the latest checkpoint with Webster Style and Brian Saff. It's your boy Kuya, y'all. Again, always a pleasure chatting with my boys over here, Sean and Eldon. All things of me, the Legend Kuya. It's up in the comments, man. You know what I do, man. I have an interview with freaking Uncle Luke, 2 live crew in the house, Jermaine Dupree. I got a bunch of bangers that are on the way, man. I just been putting in this work. Stay tuned. We're trying to do it for all of y'all. It's the KayFabeyBaby, y'all, and we're out of here in a 1, 2, 3. Peace.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you. Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before. You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
The Rock just jerked Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like 2 men should do.
Oh, no! That fits right.
Corey boy, I'm coming hard.